There are times in life when the weight on your shoulders feels too heavy to carry, when the pain inside your heart is so deep that words cannot express it. You may feel as though the darkness around you is closing in, and you wonder if you will ever see the light again. Maybe you have cried yourself to sleep, asking God why this season has lasted so long. But I want to remind you today, your pain has an expiration date. It will not last forever. God has already marked the day when this chapter will close and a new one will begin. Pain can feel endless when you are in the middle of it. The nights seem long, the prayers feel unanswered, and the silence of heaven can feel unbearable. But even when you cannot see it, God is working. He is not absent from your suffering. He is not ignoring your prayers. He is using this season to prepare you for something greater than you can imagine. The scripture tells us that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That means your tears are temporary. Your sorrow has an ending point. Your pain is not meant to break you, it is meant to shape you. Think about the seed that is planted deep in the soil. For a time it is hidden away, buried where no one can see it. But in that darkness it begins to grow. Its roots push down, drawing strength from the earth, until finally it breaks through the surface and blooms into what it was created to be. That is what God is doing in your life right now. You may feel buried, forgotten, hidden away in the darkness, but He is growing something in you that will soon break through. God never wastes pain. Every tear you have cried has been counted. Every sleepless night has been seen. Every prayer you have whispered has been heard. What you are walking through is not without purpose. There are lessons you are learning right now, strength you are gaining right now, faith being built right now, faith you will need for the next season of your life. This pain is not the end of your story. It is simply the middle of it. When God decides that your season of pain has fulfilled its purpose, nothing can keep it from ending. He will open the door no one else could open. He will turn the page that no human hand could turn. He will bring restoration where there was loss, peace where there was anxiety, joy where there was despair. When He steps in, everything changes in an instant. What looked permanent will suddenly be reversed. What felt hopeless will be filled with life again. Sometimes it feels as though the enemy has the final word over your life, as though he has stolen too much, broken too much, destroyed too much. But God is a God of redemption. He does not just end your painful season, He uses it to set you up for a greater blessing. The very thing that once caused you pain will become the testimony you share with others to give them hope. What was meant to destroy you will actually launch you into your destiny. So, I encourage you today, hold on just a little longer. Do not let the weight of this season convince you that it will last forever. Do not let the enemy whisper lies that tell you there is no way out. God is faithful. He has not forgotten you. Your season of pain is about to expire, and when it does, you will look back and see that every single moment of suffering had a purpose. You will see that the fire you walked through refined you, the storm you endured strengthened you, and the waiting you experienced prepared you. One day soon, you will wake up and feel the heaviness lift. You will sense the peace of God rushing in like a river. You will step into a new chapter that will make sense of the last one. And when that day comes, you will be able to say, it was hard, but it was worth it. It hurt, but it changed me. It broke me, but it built me. And then you will know with all your heart that your pain had an expiration date, and that God was faithful to bring you through to the other side. There are seasons in life that feel almost unbearable, times when you wonder if anyone understands the pain you are walking through, nights when the silence feels deafening and your heart is breaking into pieces you can't seem to gather back together. Maybe you have cried so much that you think heaven is silent, but I want to tell you today your tears are not wasted. Your tears are seen by God. Every drop that falls from your eyes is noticed by the one who created you. Scripture tells us that He keeps our tears in a bottle, meaning He values them, He records them, and He cares deeply about what is hurting you. When you think you are all alone, He is closer than your breath. When you whisper a prayer through your pain, He hears it clearly. When you have no words and can only cry, He understands every tear. This painful season you are in is not permanent. God has already written an ending to this chapter, and it is an ending filled with hope. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That is not just a poetic line, it is a promise from the heart of God. You may be in the night right now, but morning is coming. The sun will rise again in your life, and what feels heavy today will one day be lifted. Many times, our seasons of pain are also seasons of transformation. We may not see it while we are in the middle of it, but God is shaping us, stretching us, and preparing us for something greater. Pain teaches us to depend on Him more deeply, to trust Him when nothing makes sense, and to find hope even in the dark. Your tears water the soil of your faith, and one day they will grow into a testimony that encourages others. Think about this. Some of the most powerful victories in life come after the hardest battles. Some of the most beautiful stories of redemption come from the deepest wounds. The place where you have been hurt the most is often the place where God will bring the most healing, the most growth, and the most blessing. What you are facing is not random, it is being used for a purpose that will one day make sense. Sometimes when we are hurting, we are tempted to believe that God is far away. But pain is not a sign of His absence. It is often the place where He is closest to us. He is near to the broken-hearted. He comforts those who mourn. He strengthens those who feel too weak to stand. He carries you when you cannot carry yourself. There will come a day when you will look back and see that this season was not the end of you, it was the making of you. The tears you are shedding now are writing a story that will inspire someone else. Your pain will become your platform. Your weakness will reveal God's strength. Your trial will show the world that hope is real and that God is faithful. So keep going, even if you have to go with tears in your eyes. Keep praying, even if your voice trembles. Keep believing, even when it feels like nothing is changing. God is at work behind the scenes, arranging things in your favor, moving pieces you cannot see, and preparing the breakthrough that will end this painful chapter. One day soon, your sorrow will turn to joy. The heaviness will lift, the tears will dry. The very thing that once brought you pain will bring you praise. And when that happens, you will know without a doubt that God was with you through it all. Hold on to hope today. Your tears are not forgotten. Your heart is not invisible. Your season of pain is not forever. The God who sees you is about to turn your mourning into dancing, and your ashes into beauty. And when that moment comes, you will stand stronger, shine brighter, and speak with a new boldness, because you will know that the God who saw your tears was faithful to bring you through. There comes a time in every life when pain feels too heavy to bear. The nights seem endless, the prayers seem unanswered, and the weight of the burden seems to crush your spirit. Maybe you are in that place right now. You wonder if God has forgotten you, if He hears the cry of your heart, if this season of suffering will ever come to an end. But let me tell you something today. God has not abandoned you. He has not turned His face away from you. He knows exactly where you are, and He knows exactly what you are going through. Trials are never easy, but they are never wasted. What feels like the hardest battle of your life is shaping you, preparing you, and drawing you closer to the one who holds your future. It is in the fire of affliction that faith is refined. It is in the storm that trust is tested. It is in the midnight hour that prayer becomes real, deep, and powerful. You may feel as though you are barely holding on, but that is where faith is born, not in the sunshine, but in the storm. Think about it. If every season of life were easy, if there were no challenges, no heartaches, no tears, then faith would never grow. Faith is not built on the mountaintop, it is built in the valley. It is built when you have to trust God, even when you cannot see what He is doing. It is built when you choose to believe His promises, even when everything around you seems to contradict them. That is where real faith is forged in the heat of the trial. Perhaps you have lost something dear to you. Perhaps you have been betrayed by someone you trusted. Perhaps the doors you thought would open have remained shut. You are asking why, and you are wondering how much longer this will last. But hear this: God sees the end from the beginning. He knows the exact moment when your season will shift. He knows when the night will turn into morning, and while you are waiting, He is working. The pain you feel right now is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. Just as gold is purified by fire, so your faith is being purified through this experience. Every tear you shed is watering the soil of a harvest that will one day come. Every prayer you pray is being heard by the one who has the power to answer. Every sleepless night is adding strength to your spirit, even if you do not feel it right now. And when God steps in and things will shift suddenly. The breakthrough you have been praying for will come. The door that was locked will swing open. The heaviness will lift and joy will return. You will look back on this painful season and realize that it was not wasted. It was doing something deep in you. It was building a faith that could not be shaken. What you are walking through today will one day become the testimony you share with others. You will be able to tell someone else, "I know what it feels like to be in pain, but I also know what it feels like to see God turn that pain into joy." The enemy wanted to destroy you through this trial, but God is using it to make you stronger. So do not give up. Do not stop believing. Do not throw away your faith just because the season is difficult. Your trial is temporary, but the faith you are building through it will last forever. Hold on to the promises of God, even if you can only whisper them through your tears. The same God who allowed this season will also end it. Your night will not last forever. Your morning is coming. Your sorrow will turn into joy. Your mourning will turn into dancing, and your story will end in victory. What the enemy meant for evil, God is already turning for good. And when you come out of this season, because you will be stronger, wiser, and closer to God than ever before. There comes a point in every person's life where pain seems to take center stage. You may have been through heartbreak, loss, betrayal, sickness, or disappointment. You've prayed for change, you've begged for answers, and yet the situation seemed to get worse before it got better. In those moments, it's easy to believe that the pain will last forever, that you have been forgotten, that life will never return to joy. But hear this truth today: the God who sees you has not left you, and the season of pain you are in is not permanent. He is taking the very thing that wounded you and shaping it into something that will one day become your greatest strength. Your pain is not wasted. The sleepless nights, the silent tears, the questions that seem to go unanswered, they are all being gathered into the hands of a loving God who knows how to turn sorrow into purpose. Sometimes it is in the darkest valley that we learn to see His light the clearest. Sometimes it is in the silence that we hear His whisper the loudest. Your suffering may have shaken you, but it has not broken you. The very fact that you are still here, still breathing, still holding on, is proof that there is more to your story. When we walk through seasons of suffering, we often wonder if God has abandoned us. But the truth is, He is closer than ever in those moments. Like a potter shaping the clay, He is molding you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than you were before. Pain has a way of refining the soul. It strips away pride, it humbles the heart, and it deepens our dependence on God. What once felt unbearable becomes the very thing that teaches us perseverance, courage, and faith. The enemy wants you to believe that your pain is pointless, that your heartache is meaningless. But God promises that what the enemy meant for evil, He will turn for good. The wound that once bled will become a scar that tells a story of survival, of redemption, of grace. The fire you walked through is producing gold in your life. The storm that nearly sank you will become the testimony that helps someone else find their anchor. Your pain is not just about you, it is about the lives that will be touched because you endured and refused to give up. This is why you cannot let despair win. Do not throw away your hope. Do not stop believing that God is working. You may not see the progress yet, but deep beneath the surface, something is shifting. The tears you cried were not ignored, they were watering the ground for something new to grow. The prayers you prayed were not wasted, they are being stored up until the appointed time. Every trial has a season, and every season has an end. The night may have been long, but morning is coming. And when it comes, you will see that God was with you all along. You will see how every hardship fit together in a way you never expected. You will look back and thank God that He did not remove the process, because the process made you who you are today. What felt like a delay was actually preparation. What felt like rejection was redirection towards something greater. What felt like breaking was actually the making of a stronger version of you. So lift your head. Strengthen your heart. The God who turned a cross into a resurrection, the God who turned mourning into dancing, is the same God who will turn your pain into purpose. You will not just survive this, you will thrive because of this. One day, the tears you are crying will turn into joy. The heaviness you are carrying will be replaced with peace. And when you share your story, others will see the goodness of God through you. Your pain is the soil where purpose is being planted. Trust the process. Hold on to hope. Believe that the one who began a good work in you will be faithful to finish it. The season of pain will end, and when it does, you will see that every step, every tear, and every prayer was leading you to the purpose He had planned all along. There comes a time in every life when the weight of pain feels too heavy to bear. You may be walking through a season right now that feels endless nights filled with tears, days filled with questions, and a heart that wonders if the sun will ever shine again. You've prayed, you've waited, and you've asked God, when will this end? My friend, I want to assure you today no season lasts forever. Just as winter eventually gives way to spring, your painful season will give way to a new one. A new season is coming, and God Himself is the one who will bring it. When we walk through deep valleys, it is easy to think that we are forgotten, that heaven is silent, and that our prayers are falling on deaf ears. But nothing could be further from the truth. The same God who formed you in your mother's womb, the same God who knows the number of hairs on your head, is watching over you even now. He has seen every tear you've cried, heard every prayer you've whispered, and He has kept record of every sleepless night. You are not unseen, and you are not abandoned. Your painful season is not meant to destroy you, but to develop you. God often uses the difficult seasons of life as a classroom. It is in these moments that we learn to trust Him deeply, to rely on His strength instead of our own, and to see His faithfulness in ways we could never have seen otherwise. Pain has a way of purifying our hearts, stripping away what is unnecessary and reminding us of what truly matters. Just as gold is refined by fire, your faith is being refined in this very moment. Sometimes the enemy will whisper to you that this is the end, that nothing will change, that you will always be stuck in the same place. But that is a lie. God's word says that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. The night may feel long, but morning is on the way. This storm you are facing has an appointed end. It is not forever. God has already marked the day on His calendar when He will lift you out of this valley and set your feet on higher ground. When that moment comes, you will see His power in ways that will leave you speechless. The door that seemed permanently shut will suddenly swing wide open. The sickness that seemed incurable will be healed. The relationship that seemed impossible to restore will be reconciled. The dream you thought had died will be resurrected. That is what happens when God declares that a new season has come. Everything begins to change. And when you look back, you will see that this season was not wasted. The pain you endured will become part of your testimony. What once hurt you will one day help someone else who is walking the same road. Your scars will be a sign of God's healing power. The very thing the enemy meant for evil will be the very thing God uses to bless you and to bless others through you. But until that day arrives, hold on to hope. Keep praying even when it feels like nothing is happening. Keep believing even when your faith feels small. Keep walking even when the road is hard. God is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see. Just because the situation hasn't changed yet doesn't mean it won't. Every step you take in faith brings you closer to the breakthrough that God has already prepared, so do not give up. Do not let discouragement win. The season of pain you are in now is only a chapter in your story. It is not the whole book. The author of your life is still writing, and he has planned a future filled with hope, peace, and joy for you. A new season is coming. The clouds will part, the light will break through, and the joy that has been promised will arrive. One day soon, you will look back and say, "It was hard, but it was worth it." The pain was real, but so was the healing. The night was long, but morning did come. And when it does, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that God never left you, never abandoned you, and never stopped working on your behalf. Take courage today. Stand firm in faith. Your new season is closer than you think. The God who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. Your story is not over. Joy is coming. Breakthrough is coming. And soon, very soon, you will step into the season you have been praying for, and it will be better, greater, and more beautiful than you could have ever imagined.